I want to talk about bids. And when I say bids, I'm talking about John Gottman and how he talks about bids. And I want to point you to a much longer, more in-depth podcast I just recorded on this in the Mormon Mixed Faith Marriage podcast. But I wanted to give a little teaser here because it's such an important topic that I think if we just bring some awareness to it, we can really prevent a lot of pain and suffering in our mixed faith marriage. So when I say bid, what I'm talking about is it's a bid for an emotional connection. So John Gottman teaches that when there's a positive response to bids for emotional connection, that directly correlates to the happiness and health of a relationship. And when there are more negative responses to those bids for emotional connection, that correlates to unhappy marriage and or divorce. So bids matter, okay? And think about a bid. It's just a reach out. Somebody's just saying, please connect with me emotionally. They may say something trivial like, hey, what do you think of that car? But it's a bid for an emotional connection. It's a bid for you to look up, respond, connect, and have a moment with them. Or what do you think about, this dish? Or, oh my goodness, I just got this interesting email from my boss. They're just bids for an emotional connection. Now, here's how I see it play out in a faith transition. When a faith transition happens, people are still making bids, but those bids, often the negative reception of the bids increases tremendously. So a spouse may say, I really like that sacrament meeting talk today. They may get a negative response. Or a spouse may say, that sacrament meeting talk really bothered me today. Again, it's just a bid for an emotional connection. They may get a negative response. Or a bid might be, I'm so looking forward to conference this weekend. Or I'm so not looking for conference this weekend. And because of the faith transition and the mixed faith marriage, there may be negative responses to those emotional bids. And I want you to consider this is they're still just emotional bids. You can still respond in a positive way without agreeing or condoning or compromising your integrity. Now that's a skill, but it's a skill you can develop. Again, I want you to reference to the podcast where I really go in depth with this, but I want you to consider here that how have you responded to bids for connection since the mixed faith marriage? And have they become, have the responses become trending in the negative way instead of the positive way? And is that because you're thinking you can't condone or agree, or that that's going to compromise your integrity? And I want to see if you can start thinking differently about that. How can I connect emotionally and still honor myself and still be in integrity with myself? This is Brooke Booth, life coach for Mormons in a mixed faith marriage.